And we want to take you live back to that press briefing setup. Oh, Dr. Robert Avossa is at the podium. Let's listen in.
Resigning my position as superintendent effective this summer at the completion of my third year, and gave them a letter. Had an opportunity to send out some messages to our principals and teachers explaining the situation and next steps. And tomorrow I have one-on-one meetings set up with each of the board members to review what the next steps might look like for them and some suggestions that I have for them moving forward.
How hard is this for you?
It's incredibly difficult. These types of jobs are complex. We're the largest employer in the community. Every decision we make is scrutinized very closely, and it should be. That's what democracy is all about. There's a lot of great value in terms of intrinsic value to lead a big district like this, but it's also really hard. This will be the completion of my 7th year as superintendent, 4 in Atlanta, and now 3 here in Palm Beach County.
What didn't you get done? You've listed all the things what didn't you get done?
Listen, there is no destination in a position like this. It's a constant moving target. Closing the achievement gap has started happening, but there's a long way to go. We have a massive gap between our wealthiest kids and some of our poorest kids in terms of outcome. There's also a long list of things that we need to get done, but they're all articulated in our strategic plan and the 19 key initiatives that we created as a community. It wasn't my plan, it's the community's plan.
And I'm sure there are plenty of administrators, teachers, parents who are disappointed to hear this news, disappointed to hear you're leaving. What do you say to them?
This has been a tough decision for me, but I also have 2 small children that are part of our community and go to our schools, and I want to spend a little more time with them, and it's important to me. As a lifelong educator, having spent now 25 years as a teacher, principal, and superintendent at the local level, I get a chance maybe in the last part of my career to impact national issues, policies, and help school districts across the country improve outcomes.
What was the hiring process like, and how long had you been interested in potentially working there, and then where we are today?
So first of all, there was no hiring process. In positions like this, we were often approached by companies, both on the for-profit, nonprofit search firms, and I had made a commitment that I would not be a superintendent again after my 5 or 6 year term here. That option came open a little sooner than I thought, and so that offer came to me unsolicited, and over the winter break my wife and I really contemplated it, and I decided to accept it.
What are you most proud of accomplishing during your time here as superintendent?
I think increasing the graduation rate is really important. We had the largest increase in African American graduation rate in the state. We now lead the state for Black graduation rate, 10-point increase. I'm proud of the fact that we passed a half-cent sales tax that will allow the district for the next 10 years to bring our buildings back up to speed and look right and look good for the kids. They deserve it. And then all the investment in technology. Also the dialogue that we created with the community. Those systems are in place now, and I expect that the district board and others continue to operate by listening to the community. We have a really good school board here in Palm Beach. We're blessed to have elected officials that want to do the work. And I was a little bit of a disruptor. That was my job. I put some things in place, and now hopefully we can hand the baton over for someone to continue to work and finish up.
Dr. Avossa, what does the board do now to try to identify another superintendent?
So tomorrow I'll have an opportunity to speak with them one-on-one. In my letter to them, I did articulate that I believe it'd be really important, now that we have a plan, a program, and a process in place, that they look first internally. We have a few very capable educators that are on the executive team that have been with me from the very beginning, and I think could execute to completion the rest of the plan.
How does the district move forward after today?
Well, look, I'm one individual of 27,000. I represent the interests of the school board and the district, but this isn't about me, it's about our work, and I'll continue to make sure that I do my job in the transition, do everything I can to make sure the board has the tools they need, and then work with them if they choose to on finding a replacement internally, and if they feel that that's not an option, then they can certainly look externally.
Let's talk about making an impact on the national level. Can you explain to me what it is you're going to be doing? You have a very long title.
Yeah.
But what does that actually mean?
So LRP is a publishing company that has a variety of different businesses within it. Their primary one is special education, which is what my expertise is in. I was a teacher, have an undergrad and a master's degree in special education. They also deal with policy issues for Title I schools, children living in poverty, and have also started morphing into other sorts of organizations on helping superintendents get better at their job. They do a lot of trade magazines, and that'll give me an opportunity to share what I've learned during my 25 years and help other districts get better.
Last question.
And the last thing, really important to my family and I is that this is home. I grew up in Florida. My kids will get to stay here and finish up their schooling. And I get to continue to be an advocate locally with the local education foundation and other foundations that are important to the district. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You were listening to that press briefing. Superintendent Dr. Robert Avossa from Palm Beach County just stepping down. So quite the shakeup this afternoon at the very top of the Palm Beach County School District here. Dr. Robert Avossa saying after a short 2.5 years at the helm, many had high hopes that he would stick around for quite a while, and he was right there in the middle of a 5-year strategic plan. But he will be resigning at the end of this school year, moving into the private sector. And by comparison, if we take a quick glimpse, by comparison, the superintendent at the 4th largest school district in Miami-Dade County has been there 10 years. So a shakeup after just 2.5 is quite a